The mechanism of activation of T lymphocyte is just as simple as driving a car. Do you want to know why it is being compared with driving a car? To know that, you have to watch this vlog. Hello viewers, welcome to Pathology Discussion Forum, and today in Medschool Microvlog 9, I will talk about the mechanism of activation of T lymphocytes. Now, the T lymphocytes that constitute 60 to 70% of the peripheral blood lymphocytes, and most of the T lymphocytes has antigen specific T cell receptor, which is also known as TCR, and that TCR that is comprised of alpha and beta polypeptide chains in 95% of the cases. There are various types of T lymphocytes such as helper T cells, which helps in the activation of B or T lymphocytes along with macrophages. Also, there is cytotoxic T cells that is involved in killing of the infected cells, and there is regulatory T cells that causes suppression of the immune response. Now, to carry out these functions, a T cells needs to be activated first. For the activation of T lymphocytes, there are few structures which are present on the surface of T cells, and these structures they play the main roles in the activation of T lymphocytes. Now, these structures or molecules are T cell receptor that bind with the antigen bound MHC molecule on the antigen presenting cells. The next molecule, that is CD4 or CD8 molecules, that act as a co-receptor and enhances the signal. And another molecule there is present, that is CD28 molecule, that binds to the B7-1 or B7-2 receptor on the antigen presenting cells, and that act as co-stimulator molecule. Now, on the other hand, an antigen presenting cell has MHC molecule for presenting the antigen to T cell, and B7-1, B7-2 molecules to get attached with CD28 molecule on T cell. Now, we are coming to the most interesting part of this vlog. Now, let's compare driving a car with activation of T cells. Now, first, for driving a car, you have to put in a key and then turn on the ignition, and then we have to put the gears on and press the accelerator for moving the car. So if you just complete the part 1, that means put in the key and turn on ignition, then the car won't move. So after ignition, you have to put on the gear and press the accelerator to move the car. Similarly, in case of T cell activation, the first part, that is binding of TCR to the MHC bound antigen on antigen presenting cell, and this is shown in this picture as signal 1. Now, the next part in the activation of T cell is the part of co-stimulation. That means there is binding of the CD28 molecule to the B7-1 or B7-2 molecule on antigen presenting cell, and it is shown in this picture as signal 2, and it is another most important part. So it will complete the process of activation. This part of co-stimulation is mandatory for a successful T cell activation. This signal 2 or the part of co-stimulation, that is vital for the prevention of emergence of any autoimmune disease. Because if by mistake the APC presents a self-antigen to T lymphocyte, then this part 2 is automatically blocked. So there is prevention of activation of self-reactive T cells, and it will help to prevent the emergence of autoimmune disease. So it is quite evident that for proper activation of T cells, there has to be two signals. The first one, the signal 1, that is attachment of the TCR with the MHC bound antigen, and the second part, that is attachment of the CD28 molecule with the B7-1 or B7-2 molecule on APC, and it will complete the process of T cell activation. Okay, that's it for now. If you are new to our vlog, then don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon, and also you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. The links are given in the description box below.